Okay, welcome back to Business and Technology in Tennessee, a podcast from InfoSystems. Today's episode is part of a series that we're doing with the Chattanooga Technology Council, where we're recording some personalities and maybe in some cases actual events that they're doing throughout the end of 2018. Today's episode is part of the event Scenic City Summit, which is a developers conference. It's happening at the Chattanooga Convention Center. By the time this episode comes out, it will have already happened, so hopefully you attended and had a great time. But to introduce my guests today, this is Susan Johnson, who is with RedHat. She heads up marketing for the Southeast US. And sort of a cool setup here, and what we're going to talk about is the RedHat trailer that we are right now sitting in and recording in. This is super cool. So Susan, you want to just say a couple things about your role with RedHat and what you guys do and who you are?
Thanks, Josh. As Josh mentioned, I head up marketing for the Southeast US. And I've been with RedHat for about 3 years. And RedHat is a global technology company that's really known initially for Linux, which is what we were a powerhouse in, but we've really expanded our services beyond that. And we're the largest open source technology company in the world. And, we're not only focusing on our global reach, but in cases like this, really reaching out to the tech communities where we have customers, people that we're talking with on a regular basis, and that's how we've ended up at the summit.
Cool. And just to clarify, we're going to have 2 episodes that we do here. One is going to get really geeky about all the open source technology and stuff like that, but for this episode, Susan and I are going to talk more about the truck and the conference and some of the cool things they've been doing with this whole setup. So I guess just to get started talking about the truck, first of all, you all said that you had started traveling around with this truck in May.
Towards the end of May. This was a project that's been talked about on and off for a little while, where we were trying to decide how we as a company can better bring our technology, our training, our conversations to customers, as opposed to just having them come to us. And so this idea really took flight and very quickly, and this 18-wheeler truck came together within several months and started out in the West Coast and has since progressed into Canada, down into the central US, and has diverted to Chattanooga. We're not in the Southeast expected to get the Mobile Portfolio Center, which we commonly refer to as the truck. We're not supposed to be getting this till the end of October, but the Chattanooga Scenic City Summit was something that I was able to divert the truck for, and so we're really happy to be here. It's our first stop in the Southeast.
Little old Chattanooga. We got such cool things that happen here.
It's a very important city. It really is. We've got good customers here. It's a place that we haven't spent a lot of time in as far as marketing goes, but what a great conference to come to. And we are the primary sponsor of this year's Scenic City Summit. We have our chief architect, Michael Solberg, who's going to be giving the keynote tomorrow morning. Awesome. And another speaker during the day. So it's not only just this Mobile Portfolio Center, but it's also our participation in the conference that we're excited about. Yeah,
that's awesome. And Chattanooga is kind of the way we're situated in such close proximity to both Nashville and Atlanta. It's so easy for us to get overlooked when it comes to road shows and cool things, events going on like this. But more and more over the years, since Chattanooga has sort of made our mark in the technology scene, we're beginning to see more things happen. And so I think I have recently heard of 3 different developer conferences that are going to be going on here in Chattanooga just over the next 2 or 3 months.
What's interesting with what you said too was that we are also drawing people from Georgia to this conference. I know we have one of our account managers has one, maybe two customers that it's just as easy for them to get here in Georgia as it is to Atlanta. So it becomes kind of an interesting centralized location. We have people coming in from Nashville on our team as well. So I kind of like looking at the potential of Chattanooga. And Tennessee is just being very, very good to Red Hat. So we really want to be able to make sure we're maximizing both our exposure and our interaction with the companies here in town.
Yeah, and you got to beware if you're from Nashville or Atlanta. When you come and visit Chattanooga, there's a high likelihood that you might want to stay here because it's such a wonderful town. It's beautiful, and it's not all the places around our area have these types of really picturesque downtown areas and cool outdoor activities and stuff going on all the time around. So,
well, I didn't come in on the truck. I came in flying in and came in by Uber into town, but I know that my Uber driver pointed out very well that we were coming into a lovely location, and as we kind of came onto the highway around towards seeing the skyline, I thought it was beautiful. Yeah. So we're very, very happy to be here. It's a nice stop for us.
Okay, so enough about Chattanooga. I could self-promote our city all day if I wanted to, but I want to hear more about the Red Hat truck and some of the events that you all have done with this wonderful. Hopefully the video does this justice. This is like a full-size conference room on wheels.
It truly could be someone's apartment or condo. It is. It began in the San Francisco area, I believe. That's not my territory, but I believe it began in San Francisco, and we've been doing a number of different things with this truck, this facility that we have on the road. We've been using it to stop at our customer locations, specific customer locations, to do trainings, to do information sessions. Some of our customers work with just one part of what Red Hat has to offer, but want to know about some of the elements that we can provide. So we've used it for general sessions. We've used it recently in Phoenix for an executive briefing center where we got the executives from one of our customers onto the truck in the morning. We had several hours of discussing things, important topics with them around IT. We even had, I don't think you can see it, but we've got a large screen back there where we beamed in our own CEO of Red Hat to the conference, the EBC, and he got to do a little bit of real-time intro to the people who are here. So that was kind of exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we've also, one thing that we found is it's a great stop for us for rugs, to be able to have, instead of going to someone else's facility, have a rug come into this, I'm going to call it a building because it basically is on wheels.
And just to clarify with rug, you're talking about Red Hat user groups.
Red Hat user groups, yes, our terminology. Red Hat user groups. The thing about this mobile portfolio center is that it's so well equipped to accommodate just about anything that we want to do on here. Whether it's a workshop, whether it's a program, the back of this facility, we have tables that will fold down, chairs, we can set it up like a classroom. We have our own Wi-Fi, we have our own generator. It truly is, it's very self-contained and very flexible. So we've been able to accommodate requests along the way in doing, with special uses on this. And for here in Chattanooga, this is the first time, I think we brought it, since we started in May, it's the first time we brought it to a conference/trade show. And so we're really using it as a booth here today.
Yeah.
There are some people, certainly we know that are customers, there are other people who are curious about open source technology and what Red Hat does. And so we're opening up the doors and letting people come in and kind of experience some of what we are demoing at our 6 kiosks.
Yeah, and just to sort of describe if you can't see everything in the video, there are 6 kiosks with interactive touchscreen displays. There are what looks like maybe a 60-inch TVs, 2 on each wall, and then a touch board, one of the, what do you call those, a magic board?
Magic board.
In the back. And lots of seating, lots of tables that can be moved around. So this is a super cool space.
Yeah, if nothing else, the feedback we get and that we watch when people come on to this 18-wheeler, they come through the doors and they're pretty fascinated. It pulls out 8 feet on either side. So it truly is almost like a mobile facility. And every inch of it is decorated in our colors, our message. You mentioned the kiosks. It's interesting because we have just a lot of information, especially demos, that can be both self-run. If you stand at one of the kiosks, you can really go through it, talks you through the 5 different areas that we really focus on in these, which I'm going to read them off because I'm going to forget what they are if I try to remember them. But IT optimization, agile integration, hybrid cloud. We've got the cloud native application development, and then also IT automation, which is really big with our Ansible product right now. It's huge for Red Hat. So, any one of those things, someone could walk up to a kiosk and they can really self-inform themselves through the demos. But we also have our staff here. We'll have about 8. Well, if you include the 2 marketing people, we'll have about 10 people here tomorrow morning, and we'll be able to interact with everyone with their questions and the insights that they're looking for.
Yeah. So, what are people going to experience when they come in here? Are they going to be directed to a kiosk to begin just self-exploring? Are they going to come in and get greeted and be taken on a tour? What's the typical? It's
not really, not necessarily a tour scenario, but when we're going to be registering people outside of this facility, and really asking them too, kind of what are their biggest challenges, what are their biggest interests when we register them, so that we can direct them maybe to the right topic that they want to talk about. And we will have them come up, and our team will actually greet them at the door and start kind of giving them some insights and information, take them through some of the demos on the kiosk. And we also, I failed to mention too, we have a virtual reality station in the back as well.
Cool.
That has just provides some insights on what we do, but by interacting with those through the virtual reality setup that we have.
Yeah, so I can see the headset hanging from the wall back here, so I don't know if the camera is catching that, but that would be extremely cool.
I've heard there are lines for that. It's just fun to put the headset on, and it's fun to do something a little bit different than kind of your traditional trade show kiosk. And I think we've kind of accomplished that here. Not to mention that we have Red Hat Cornhole game set up
nice
outside.
And there's plenty of space, obviously, outside of the trailer to engage and have fun activities and things. I don't know the entire agenda for the Scenic City Summit, but it looked like there was going to be a lot of great stuff going on with that, several sessions. And I think I saw that after a certain time that Chattanooga Technology Council members will be able to come in and experience the whole Red Hat trailer.
Absolutely. It's later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I believe it's from 3:30 to 5. It's being opened up to members that either can't or aren't attending the summit.
Yep.
And they'll be able to come in and do the same things that the people here are doing as well, but kind of on their own time. And we're really excited about that, being opened up to others. So if nothing else, I think it's not only, certainly we want people to know about Red Hat, but I think that the experience of what open source technology is, or the capabilities as to how expansive it is really important for people to understand.
Yeah.
And it really has changed the face of a lot of things that we do in IT. So I'll save that for my colleague to be able to talk about, in more depth. But I think that people should be able to leave here with some new insights on that space that we live in at Red Hat.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend. I'm going to be out of town at another conference.
You're getting a preview.
Yeah, but I get to come in and get this cool preview. But this is going to be really cool for the city of Chattanooga to have this type of presence come in, engage in with our local organization, the Chattanooga Tech Council, who for years now, a lot of years, has been doing a lot of hard work for economic development, workforce development, and just evangelizing technology in our region. And I know InfoSystems has worked very closely with the Tech Council for a long time. We attend events, sponsor events. We look for any way we can support them, which this podcast series is just one example of how we partner with the Tech Council to help get the message out. So for the Red Hat team, for you all to come in and plug into this is really cool for both us and for the Tech Council and for the whole city.
Well, we're really appreciative of the Tech Council too. That's one thing in my role that I have felt has been very important in the Southeast, is really connecting with the tech communities on a community level. Mm-hmm. We certainly are this very large, this large IT software related provider, but we initiate both our relationships and nurture those relationships through the community involvement that we have. And so talking with the Tech Council here, we became a member. We started at all different levels, not just through marketing, through our sales team, through our service and solutions architecture teams. We started talking with the Tech Council and interacting with them, and now we find ourselves here, and we think that they're terrific. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and we're looking forward to doing more with Chattanooga in the future.
That's
and
great
I think
to hear.
that's the great thing for us.
That's awesome. Before we move on to our next episode, where we're going to talk more about open source and what is Red Hat and how does the technology apply to companies, anything else that you would just like to share from the Red Hat team out to our viewership? And our podcast listener is typically a business person, not an IT department professional. And so, just knowing that, what would the business person want to know about Red Hat that his IT department, that he doesn't know from dealing with his own IT department?
From my standpoint, I probably would say that, certainly, like other providers, we really are trying to focus not only on kind of showing you what Red Hat does, but even more so trying to figure out what we can do to change your business environment, how we can help that grow, how we can help you overcome those challenges. And I know you hear that from people, in different ways, but I mean, it truly is the basis for what we do and what we develop. So, we appreciate the fact that people find our business interesting, but we also appreciate the fact that we deal with a lot of interesting, intriguing businesses that really want to be able to step up the level and how they operate to be better at what they do. Yeah. And we thrive on that. So, it's exciting for us to meet all the people that we're meeting, and it's not just the developers and it's not just the IT support. It really truly is the business in general, and really understanding what our business customers do. So it's a real trip for us to be able to really kind of interact with people at this level. And I would say with Red Hat too, Red Hat has, I've been with Red Hat for 3 years. I'll get personal for a second. I've been with Red Hat for 3 years. I think it's one of the most interesting and exciting companies I've worked for, and I've been around a while. It has got not only this open source technology, but it preaches what it produces, which is an open environment as far as our culture goes. And we really thrive with that. And I've never been a part of a company that has been so strong in its culture and beliefs and how it treats its employees and its customers. And our involvement is very creative, and it's a special thing. So I hope that people, if you can't be here with us today, or I should say tomorrow, I hope that people will kind of explore Red Hat with future stops that we make, or be able to go online at redhat.com and maybe explore a little bit about who we are as well as what we do, so that you can maybe find some interest in our technology and start asking some questions.
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the open, inviting, welcoming culture of a company, you can really get the sense of that when you come to things like this and see the cool things that are going on and just engaging with the different employees and representatives. You start to get that sense of the company culture and what it's like to work within. We're getting to a point in business and technology where people aren't choosing to do business with people just because of the features of the software that they provide or the functionality, or they want to feel good about their business relationship, and they want to put their trust in organizations that they see themselves partnered with for a long time, strategically. So
absolutely,
that's
great. On that note too, it's interesting. I plugged redhat.com, but our CEO walks the walk and talks the talk, and was just ranked by Barron's as one of the top CEOs out there, and that's Jim Whitehurst. And Jim's first book, which is pretty amazing, is The Open Organization. And if anyone, even if you don't deal with IT and technology, anyone in the business world wants to read a really interesting book about, again, kind of how our organization operates, I would highly recommend that. It's must reading for each of us who joins the company. So shows the importance of culture.
Sounds like I've got a couple of resource links to add at the bottom of the blog post that we post online with this video in it. So I will definitely include a link to the book and to the Red Hat website. And if you provide any other resources that you would like to share with the community, I'll be sure to post those links as well. So
absolutely, we appreciate that.
It's been great having you on our podcast, Susan. Thank you so much for taking the time for bringing this whole setup to Chattanooga. And I look forward to speaking to our next guest, who is going to talk more about technology. But fantastic conversation. Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks.